Hmm. Well, I just watched Barklord make another video about science. And I'll say I'm one of those people that says science is good, but I'm also one of those people that, like uh, Feynman, that says that the word science doesn't really apply to a lot of things you guys think it applies to. Most of the things. I mean, science is not about the application, right? It's related. You get knowledge, you can apply that knowledge, but it's just about getting the knowledge. If you want to apply it some way that interferes with getting the real knowledge because you're biased by wanting a particular application, that's not science. E equals mc squared is good knowledge that some military-minded people felt they had reason to make a bomb out of it is a separate question. First of all, it requires engineering. Second of all, the engineers don't decide either. It's politics. That's the problem. It's like, well, if we keep misapplying science, Barklord says, why keep doing it? Well, who's we, Kimosabe? You guys keep misapplying science. Right? And we're not ready not to apply it either. We're fucking things up royally without any particular science. And we had technology before and without science. And especially military technology, where you just have to find something nasty for human beings and then throw it at a human being. It doesn't require science. You blame science for when they put X-ray machines in shoe stores for a while, show you your X-ray of your foot live. Was that science's fault? Because science also came along and said, hey, that's not healthy, medical science, right? Is it science's fault if there's if some chemist comes up with a better, a more effective, let's say, way to get gold out of ore? Is that science's fault when the miners involved ignore the medical science about what it's going to do when you have a bunch of mercury poured into the ground? Science is the part where we have the epistemological resolve to face the truth. And people are going to complain that, well, sometimes you find an actual truth in these jerks. They're still jerks, and they have the truth, and then they do something jerky with it. Yeah, and science is the part where they'll have to face the true ramifications of that. Right? When I talk about science, I tend to mean the physical sciences. Astronomy, physics, modern chemistry, modern medical science, physiology, physiological medical science. And anything theoretically could be studied this way, but some things are so complicated we're far from it. You talk about people that call themselves scientists that aren't really scientists. It's like Charles Murray, political scientist Charles Murray. And science is really just a methodology for getting knowledge, information about nature, about how nature works. What could be bad about that? Because we shouldn't know? Because we're prone to still abusing that knowledge? But look, we were fucked up beyond belief for thousands of years as we were rejecting science. I think a scientific approach is the only way. Yeah, you discovery equals mc squared in a society that still wants to use that to blow each other up, or arguably needs to. It's arguably defensible to have come up with that weapon in those circumstances. Of course, we created those circumstances, so there's a deep story there. But I think it's better for science to come up with that in a culture that still wants to make a bomb out of it, makes a bomb out of it, sees the result of that. Science is still there, facing the real results, and we face reality over time. And yes, over time, facing reality is a good thing. And it's necessary, because we're not at a place where we could say, hey, we don't have all the knowledge, but look how sweet and idyllic we live. We obviously have it down pat. We don't have that. We need more knowledge to figure out our actual best interests. People seem to have some trouble with that. Yeah, a scientific approach, a skeptical way of collecting knowledge is the answer to that. The problem is you guys don't know what science is.